So I've been wanting to do a game jam for quite some time, just to practice my skills and to learn some new things, and really work on my time management while programming. And I liked this OLC, or One Lone Coder, based off the YouTube channel One Lone Coder, game jam, or code jam in this case, because it's mostly unoffensive for a newer person. So it's not really just the best of the best. This is, like, as you can see here, new coders are actively encouraged. And I like the One Lone Coder YouTube channel just because it has a lot of very bare bones type of stuff that I kind of like to look at when thinking about how to program. So the theme for the 2020 Code Jam is the Great Machine, and this can be interpreted a lot of different ways. So I'm excited to see how I interpret things. The rest of this video will be kind of voiceover of my progress, but we will see how it turns out. This will last a whole week, is the duration of this, so I have plenty of time to pick up my skills and to figure out what is going on. So the first and pretty obvious thing to do is do some planning, and I did all of this, and I didn't really record much, but it was me just having an idea. And my idea was to create a game where you are some sort of robot and you have to solve CAPTCHAs, which are those little boxes that prevent you from filling out forms or whatever if you are a robot. So you're the special robot that can actually do CAPTCHAs, and you will be in charge of trying people if they are either a robot or a human. So now that it's planned out, the first thing I wanted to do was create a CAPTCHA that would be solved by using, it generates just a random number and positions the letters differently. And as I was creating this, I ran into some problems. Once I figured out how to generate the letters, I decided to jump ahead and work on a button system so that it can detect input. So the library that I was using, the One Lone Coder library, it has very nice values that you can just steal from that grabs the mouse X and the mouse Y position, and I just use these to check within a box. After that, I decided to create just a title screen and some instructions as well as credits, just to get those out of the way before I forgot, and then no one had any idea of how to play the game. And so here's the finished product. I skipped over probably 90% of things, so don't feel bad if, well, you missed a bunch, because there's nothing that you really missed. This was very bad. I regret making this, and I don't regret learning from it, but I do regret making it. It's really bad. So here's the title page. Click next. The buttons are actually pretty responsive. I do like that. King Machine, very generic, terrible name. So there's the instructions. You are a hybrid robot that has a highly advanced brain. Other robots are much less advanced and will fall for tricks. You work as a king of robots and judge their cases. Your goal is to determine whether someone is a robot or a human. You will gain trust from humans for correct identification. You can upgrade your methods for identification. And in the bottom left, you can see your reputation and the complexity of the trial. Higher complexity makes trials harder. Humans usually get very close to the right answer, but be careful, some humans are colorblind and some can't read. Robots slowly learn and get more correct answers. So this is the way of making the game much more difficult. This last part. So here's my absolutely amazing graphics. This is the peak of graphics right here. I've spent so much time on these stick guys. I think big companies like Epic and EA really should take a page from my notebook, because this is just absolutely amazing and inspiring, I think. And the gameplay is even better. So what we want to do is, we see our reputation is 0 and our complexity is 0. And so this generates a CAPTCHA. I click generate. So now I type in a key. You don't actually have to type in the key. The key is just to help you grade. So HWPZL. So this was pretty close. I want to say it's a fail because usually humans on the 5s only get 1 wrong at most. And so I was right because the reputation went up by 1 and the complexity went up by 3. So this just keeps happening. QPZQA. So this is pretty off, so I'm going to fail that person, that robot. And this time I'll just remember it, UXNFR. So this was almost dead on, and that was right. So these other buttons, this upgrades the CAPTCHA, which reduces the complexity by 1. And then this one is a PICHA, which is a picture CAPTCHA, which is actually just like 5 pixels, and you have to count how many pixels there are. And then you can upgrade the PICHA by spending this, and it makes it more complex and reduces complexity by 2. So let's do a PICHA, and we can see this. So it's mostly blue. That's all you have to know is the most frequent color. And so the person said blue, I'm going to pass them. And I was right. So that's this game. You just keep doing that, and depending on if you run out of reputation, if you have a negative reputation, because reputation can be a little bit negative. Once you drop below a certain point, though, you kind of get dismantled. If you are negative at between, I think, 17 and 20, you get the good ending for you. And if you surpass 10, I think, you get the bad, or the okay ending. But I didn't have as much time as I wanted to make this, but also I am glad I didn't spend any more time on it, because this is kind of, well, it's really the epitome of great games, and I don't think I could have made it any better. So if you want to take a look at my code or play the game for yourself, the itch.io link will be in the description, and I hope that you will be truly inspired by this work of art.